Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Women in Math and STEM, where our mission is to reach out to as many professionals, aspiring professionals, students, whatever you name it. We try to reach out to them, who essentially support the initiative of bringing more women and young girls into the STEM field. So, with that being said, as always, feel free to open up the description or transcript to better follow along, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hello, and thank you so much for coming to this call and talking with me. Just to sort of start off, do you mind sort of walking us through your academic and personal journey to get you where you are today?
Yeah, so I guess it's like with other people it's similar. I've had an interest in math since I was young and I was like kind of good at math as a child. And then I didn't really think I wanted to study math. I knew it was something STEM, so I applied to many schools like Civil E and applied math. But somehow everything worked out and I ended up getting into Caltech. So of course I went, and then once I got in, it seemed pure math was a great option. I think it's a good choice at Caltech and just a good undergraduate degree anywhere. For me personally, I think I kind of got lucky with recruiting, athletic sports recruiting at Caltech is like a unique thing, but it worked out for me and I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, I was just interested. You mentioned that you did athletics. How do you sort of balance, and you also said you were really good at mathematics. How do you sort of balance like both aspects of your life when they're both like really intensive and demanding?
Yeah, I think Caltech is like meant to stretch both aspects of his life, uh both both aspects. But I guess it's like just prioritizing at Caltech, even though it's a NCAA Division III school, because it's Caltech, academics always come first, and I think the athletics department does a really good job emphasizing that and understanding that student athletes are students first and athletes second. Um, but also athletics can be like a good de-stressor when school is really hard.
I've noticed that you were also part of programs like Aspire and Surf. I was just sort of curious about your experience and how that sort of changed like your like skill set and like your ability.
Yeah, I think both programs were like very good programs. Aspire, I kind of just stumbled across it in high school, and I was placed in the quantum computing cohort, and I enjoyed that. And then I that kind of led me into looking for surf opportunities that dealt with quantum computing.
Was there some aspect of quantum computing that like particularly appealed to you or that particularly interested you?
So as I said, like I just got placed into it like kind of coincidentally, at the Aspire program at Hopkins. And then from there, like it's kind of lucky that I found it early and had a little experience with it early, but I think I would have found it anyways because it kind of lies at the intersection of like math, physics, and theoretical computer science, which are all like kind of my interests combined. So it like comes together very nicely.
And I think you mentioned you were a pure math major, if I'm not wrong. What does that sort of like look like in terms of learning and like being a student?
Yeah, so this is like a very common question, and I think many people not in STEM don't really understand what like pure math majors do. At least at Caltech, it's very abstract and theoretical. Um, Caltech, the undergrad degree is like pretty much all proof-based mathematics. And generally math degrees have an algebra sequence, analysis sequence, and a topology sequence. And then you kind of expand in the areas you want to. And I guess a big distinction between pure and applied math is applied is more like we have a applied and computational major at Caltech, and of course that's more computational and deals more with like optimization problems and like differential equations compared to like abstract like algebra analysis and topology.
And then I was just curious in terms of pure math, what are some like jobs or like opportunities available?
Yeah, so Caltech's very research oriented, so many undergrad math students go to grad school, usually PhD programs. Outside of that, I think it's a very versatile degree, which is why it's a great undergrad degree. I think most people can do a lot of CS jobs with some coding background, as well as like actuarial or accountant work. Quantitative finance is something that is very well paid, but it's very difficult. Um, but if you go to the right school, I think it's reasonable and a good opportunity.
I think you also mentioned that you were interested in things like outside of pure math, like physics, and I think you mentioned that you even applied to like civil engineering. I was just wondering how you sort of bring your other interests into like your study as a pure math major.
Yeah, so I think math is a great degree because it can be used in any other science. Um, and I know a lot of pure math majors who like doing math, but they like to apply math to other um areas, not to be confused with applied math. But I, in my case, I think the application to like theoretical computer science is the most interesting, and I'm planning to do some like quantum mechanics and some more physics courses, kind of just to explore. Yeah, I don't know too much about physics or higher level physics stuff yet, but it definitely excites me.
Sounds good. I was also just curious, like when you come in contact with like a challenge or like a difficult math problem in class, like what you sort of do to work around it and like not get discouraged.
Um, I think it's best to just kind of like go back, read some notes, um, look at examples of the concepts you're learning, and just like keep trying because there'll definitely be a lot of instances when you study math where you just feel like completely stuck or something just doesn't make sense at all. But like once you have the right intuition and approach it correctly, like it becomes very easy and kind of beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, and then sort of on the same note, I was wondering if you had sort of any pieces of advice, recommendations, suggestions, honestly anything for students who are interested in pursuing something math related or STEM related in the future.
Um, I'd say just reaching out to people and like conversations like these could be very helpful. Or like grad students and professors, which could maybe mentor you in like a research product project or just like a guided learning experience, I think is very helpful. Um, and I think now that like in terms of college admissions, that's kind of what colleges are looking for, at least. I mean, it's changing very fast, but I think over the next couple of years, there'll be like research experiences with professors and um, just like serious learning experiences outside of the classroom to see that people are truly applying themselves is something colleges want in a student.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to this call today. It was absolutely fantastic talking to you.
Thank you.